guys, that was not planned. I accidentally pressed the live button. I wanted to cue the the intro instead of pressing the live button, but I will give you guys the intro now. Instead of pressing the live button, but I will give you guys the intro. Yeah, that's the intro. Yeah, I'm watching the stream here, and it's added on. Apologies, but it's all good. But as you guys can see, I got a case that I haven't had on for a long time since the outbreak, since the Champions League final. I preview. Uh, I got Tyler from T Boys TV on. Tyler, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. You know what I mean? Enjoying a bit of the break, bit of the transfer news. Taking a little bit of time off content. Still doing content, but just not as much as there was. Just enjoying it. But I do want the football season to come back ASAP. Essentially, I don't think I've ever wanted it to come back so quickly before. Even to see pre-season games, I don't care what type of football at the moment. Do you know what I mean? As long as it's not England, I'm not fussed. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, other than that, I'm good, mate. What about yourself?
No, I'm good. Uh, I'm on holiday, so it's so good. But it's fine. School is almost over for me. But I don't know why I can't show the comments. It doesn't want to show up here on my screen. So I will just uh, s- um shout them out using the comment section. And but we are here to discuss some transfer news. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you have known I was preparing a Chelsea truth bomb where I give some insights on what my opinion is on Chelsea. I will get to that and everything. But let me first get into the comment section. So Utam comes. Uh, sorry if I pronounce it wrong, but he says keep it on. Yeah, Elias, big up Elias. He says he's a Liverpool fan, but uh, I see him on every Chelsea stream, so I don't know. But what he tells me, he's a Liverpool fan and his brother is a Chelsea fan. I don't
We might
know.
just like listening to all perspectives. I mean,
Maybe.
what all opposition fans have got to say. You know,
Yeah.
you never
Yeah.
know.
Um, but Tyler, I'm going to come to you. Start off with some championship news.
Mm-hmm.
What's going around your club, Luton? Let's start off with Luton.
A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff are coming around. I remember last season, Luton got most of their business done super early. But I think obviously with the Nations League, we had a few players who were actually out for their international teams and that sort of thing. I think that obviously we was waiting a little bit and that sort of thing. But 3 signings in the last week, one each day, leading up from Monday to Wednesday, and two returns of players. Obviously Matt Macy and Woodrow, and obviously a new signing as well. In I can never say it. I need to start getting this guy's name right, but at this current moment in time, I can't actually say it. I think it's Doherty. I know his first name's Alfie, so I might just have to say that for now. But yeah, no, it's been good business. Obviously, there's been a few outgoings as well. Danny Hilton, which for me is probably the right time. As much as he's been brilliant at the club, the 6 years he's been there, sometimes good things come to an end, and that's how it was with him. Obviously, Kioso, which was a little bit of a shock to me. Technically, a backup right back, But he's went to Rotherham. I think that's a very good move and a very good signing for Rotherham. So fair play there. And then a few others, the Naismith one, I don't really want to say too much on that. Money talks at the end of the day, which I don't blame him for. It was just the manner of what he's, some of the stuff he said when he went there. And then others like Elliot Lee, which have already, which were pretty much going to happen ages ago. But yeah, it's looking good, and there's more to come. And I found out a bit more potential news today that not a lot of people know. But I'm starting to get a bit inside information inside the club. So yeah.
So I like Luton, very own YouTuber growing into the club. Maybe he's going to be a sporting director for Luton one day. Maybe, but
Never know. Never know.
yeah. But I was looking with the other clubs. I know some.
Rotherham. So I mentioned Kyoso going to Rotherham. They're actually doing some really good business. Like usually they're like, do you know like Norwich of the Premier League, where they're a yo-yo club? Rotherham are usually like that with League One and the Championship. But with some of the business they're doing, I'm actually, I might put my neck on the line here, but I actually think they might stay up next year with the signings they're doing. I'm looking at signings like, Tom Eaves, who's obviously at Hull, striker. He's very good for that, that team, I reckon, Rotherham. There was good spells at Hull. Towards the end, it wasn't overly great. Like I remember when Luton played them and beat them 3-1. And, he didn't really do anything. He missed some really good chances. But, for Rotherham, that's a brilliant signing. Kyoso. Like, I have to give him credit as well, because I didn't actually think he would make a move up that far. Because, he's got family down south and that sort of thing. But he wants regular game time. Which was always going to be difficult for him to get at Luton, especially if they're being the likes of James Bree and that sort of thing. So they're doing very good business. I know West Brom have done a few decent business as well. But the thing with them, I just don't know if they'll be back up to where they usually are, because I'm not convinced with Steve Bruce, to be honest with you. When it comes to a playoff fighting side, I'm not really too sure. Other than that, there's been a few others, but I don't know, Rotherham and us right now are probably the standout teams doing decent business in the Championship.
Yeah. Some of the news it's old news, but championship dot extra on Instagram. Um, he, but I mostly follow him for championship news. I know he started recently with this, but all City forward Tom um, Evans, I think, or Eves.
Tommy,
Um,
yeah, that's the player I was on about. Yeah, the one from
yeah,
Hull that's now at Rotherham. Yeah,
yeah, and then Mo also signing West Brom signing Jed Wallace. I think that's it.
that's it. Jed Wallace
Uh,
from Millwall.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a good
and,
player.
and Swansea have signed a defender, which I think is needed because uh, my prediction is they're going to struggle this season in the Championship, Swansea, and then and the someone I don't know how to pronounce the surname, joined Cardiff from Reading.
Oh
Then
yeah, I think that's the striker. It might be a striker, I think. Or am I
uh,
thinking of someone else? I know they've signed
let
signed a
me
number 9.
let me and mm, yeah.
Because a lot of their fans thought it was
Mm,
Bale, and then it wasn't, and it was funny.
he's a midfielder. He's a midfielder.
Oh right, okay, might be like
So
a Cam or something.
yeah, probably. And then uh, Zian Fleming joins Millwall on a
Oh,
deal.
that's a good signing. That.
And then, of course, the news that broke today is Scott Twine uh, has
Yeah,
signed for
how did I not
Burnley.
mention that? Yeah, no, good shout. That's actually a really good shout. I watched quite a lot of Scott Twine at MK Dons, and I thought Luton were going to potentially get him at one point because our scouting team kept going to MK Dons games. Um, but yeah, he's a brilliant player. That's a brilliant signing for Burnley. I know, obviously, they've got a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean pretty much, main starting 11 plus. Other players obviously going or already gone. So that's a good start in this transfer window for them. Because obviously we know what they're going to try and accomplish, go straight back up. So whether they'll do that, it depends on what they do. But Scott Twine, that's a very good signing. He's a very good player. I'd love that guy at Luton, but is what it
Yeah.
is.
And that's all the championship transfers I know about.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're the sort of main ones. I'm not really too sure
Yeah.
if there's a lot of any others.
Yeah. Let's get into the comments. Elias, did you just say I am not alone? Oh, but um, no, I just said it doesn't. Logic doesn't tell me that Liverpool fan should be watching most every Chelsea stream, but hey, you want to get as many opinions and perspectives around situations as you possibly can. So yeah, um, Woodrow came back to Luton Town. Ilias says, and Luton have signed some decent players. Ilias. Then Chelsea fan, of course. Big up Hano and T-Boys TV. Big up, big up. He says Todd Bowley's playing too much football manager. Lol. Yeah, he he likes. I think I don't know. I'll get on to Chelsea. Chelsea, I saved for later. Hit that like button, people. Yeah, we are currently on 6 likes, people. Luton should sign Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea on loan, says Ilias.
The
Thoughts?
problem with that would probably be, unless Chelsea did, would be paying the wages. That's the problem we have with trying to look at players like that, for example. And I'm not too sure if he would actually want to go to Luton either, even though it is on loan. I think he'd still want to stay at Chelsea. To be fair,
Well, if we sign, let's say we sign
or stay in the
Sterling,
Premier League at least.
yeah. But if we sign Sterling, maybe Dembele,
Mm.
he he is bench. He's the bench.
Yeah, limited,
If we
very limited game time, definitely.
so, uh, Chelsea fans saying Elias, no, they never. Probably means they they must not or should or can't. Elias, I'm only on Chelsea streams to troll them. That's okay. You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. But yeah, now I'm just going to jump out to try and see if I can't get this chat sorted out.
Yeah, that's all right.
Um, Tyler, would you take over and start talk about some of the Liverpool stuff?
Yeah, that's no problem. So yeah, obviously Liverpool, obviously done a bit of business, quite a lot of business this summer. Obviously bringing in Darwin Núñez. The price tag is a bit mad, especially from what I have seen of the player so far. I see good aspects, but then I see stuff that Klopp can make better because he's done it before. But I don't know. I just look at the price. I'm not too sure. Obviously, Mane leaving. It was one of them. When you look at stuff inside the club, it's bound to happen at some point. You see certain players that shouldn't be getting more than him getting more than him. You also see the negotiations and all that still going on with the Salah thing, and Mane weren't nowhere near that sort of wage or anything like that either. And coming on to the better second half of the season, is a lot better than Salah. We all know that. But he wants a new something else to do, new chapter in that. So, I wish him all the best. Obviously, bringing Calvin Ramsey as well. Now, obviously, that's very good. I felt Liverpool, the main other position, like where they needed a backup, was the right back. And now to have that is very good. Obviously, it's one of them where could be thrown in at times like Shimikas, depending on, he could have an impressive, load of pre-season games like Shimikas did, and then he got a bit of a lookout as well in that aspect. And then obviously from there on in, he started to play a lot more. Obviously not over Robertson usually, but a lot more at times. And then there's been a lot of outgoings, obviously, regarding, a lot of youngsters and that sort of thing as well. So very busy so far. But yeah, the main thing everyone's talking about, despite all the signings, is Liverpool coming out and saying they're getting no midfielders, which I think is a bit mad, to be quite honest with you. Like Ilias says here, Thiago, he's injury prone. He can't play 38 games, which is very true. You even look back at when he was playing at Barcelona. I don't think he's actually had a season where he hasn't been injured at least once. A lot of the midfield's getting on a bit. As much as they're still world class, they're getting on a bit more. Do you know what I mean? You need to get more. The main thing, you look at City, for example, like they won the league and imagine they won the league without a proper striker. Now they're getting Haaland. Like Liverpool aren't even getting a midfielder, which for me is the main position they need to invest in now, because they've got a backup right back, which I did feel was the main before a midfielder. People might think different, but I just felt, the other options at right back, if Trent was injured or not available, you've got Milner who can play there, but he's not a right back. And the same with Gomez, play there, but not a right back. You look, they've got Phillips as well. Even though I don't rate him highly, it's another addition. And then obviously it looks like they might be getting Cucurella as well from Brighton. He's a very, quality player from what I've seen. So you see stuff like that, and it's just frustrating. Do you want to get close to winning the league? Well, would you actually want to try and win it, or do you just want to keep getting close? Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know.
If they get Cucurella, I'm going to be so angry, because they have, we went in for Calvin Phillips, but it's a midfield option for Chelsea. Taken him away.
Yeah.
And now Cucurella, that's a backup at left back / left wing back, they have taken away.
Yeah.
It's just
exactly.
Mad. At a time podcast, shout out to these guys. Okay. Yes, it's at a time podcast. Make sure you subscribe to Tyler's channel.
Thank you.
And recently he started and said, scrap this, I'm getting back into Twitter. So he has Twitter. So go follow him.
I did get back on it. You're right, to be fair.
No midfielder this summer is going to be a long season. Not looking forward to seeing.
Yeah.
Some Man United fans, or I think every fan is like, surely the universe will prevent City from doing 3 in a row. Surely. I imagine if they get 3 in a row, it's going to be so sad.
I just think they will. Even without, if Liverpool got a midfielder, it'd be a lot closer. We all know that. But would I still? But I don't know. I just think that's their thing. the league. You know, Champions League, we all know that's not, but the league is just their thing. So I just think they would. It's like
Yeah.
like I said, like they won the league last season without a proper striker. Now they've got in Haaland. Don't get me wrong. My personal opinion, it might be a lot different to a lot of yours. I think he'll get a few goals. You know, when I say a few, I mean about 10, 15. I feel he'll get injured. Honestly, I feel he'll get injured. You know, it's the Premier League. It's a completely different league. You know, the Bundesliga is more counter attack. Counter attacking football. Whereas this is obviously, the hardest when it comes to, the technicality of players and you look at lower opposition, in the league as well. Look at the sort of signings they make nowadays. Like, for example, Burnley, they didn't even, stay up in the end, and they got players like Cornet. So, that sort of thing.
And the thing is, to Dortmund, to the Bundesliga. In the Bundesliga, teams try to sit back, but they don't get it right. In a
Yeah.
Prem, these teams, they sit back. They they sit back and they're successful. So many times teams have been successful. And I share the same view as you. My prediction is he will get 9 goals, under 10
Fair
goals.
enough. I just think he'll get injured. I do. I'm not trying to sound salty or anything. And it's the Premier League at the end of the day. Like I said, it's a lot harder. But we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. You know.
City, Ilya saying City have got their striker as if they might win the quadruple. No, I don't think so. Um,
No,
a
I
bigger
don't.
player
I
than
don't think so.
Yeah.
It's no one's done it in England for a reason. I mean, like a lot of people. I'm not trying to sound salty, but a lot of people laughed at Liverpool. How close was their team to doing it? So that's what I will say.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you were close, but
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like, and you got like,
yeah.
didn't they play like 60 odd games or something crazy like that? Like, it's just
If
like I heard. Before we went live. I was watching like a thing on the Liverpool YouTube. It's like a Henderson sort of thing. But even he was saying, the training sessions they were, because they had so many games, it's so difficult to be 100% each training session. And I think they lowered the sessions as well. Like they made them, lowered the timing of them, and that sort
yeah,
of thing down. Because usually they're about an hour and a half. They load them down to like an hour and that sort of thing, apparently. So
yeah. Um, Chelsea fancy Elias maybe on them getting the quadruple. Elias
I still
is
think they'll have the Champions League thing, like curse or whatever the hell it is. I still think they'll have that even with Ireland.
yeah. My prediction for next season City to win the quadruple. Correct.
We're all entitled to it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, I agree.
City, yeah.
But
Chelsea.
you just don't want like you just. I know no one really cares when we win the league and we've got no fans on that. But like, you don't want to like everyone's just saying the same thing. Like, you want it to be competitive, but it's just annoying because if Liverpool actually got a midfielder, then the gap would be so much tighter between them two. I think because I still think they're I'm not sure if anyone can really get too close to them two next season in that for the title sort of thing. Well, even though Liverpool for me aren't close without a midfielder, but do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah. If Chelsea can, Bowley has promised 6 signings. He will give Tuchel 6 signings. If he gets at least 2 defenders and 2 backup, two uh, 2 wing backs that can play on either side, and then a midfielder. I don't care if it's Declan Rice or if it's um, flipping. Who
Ndidi
else?
from Leicester.
Even him. I don't care as long as we can get a midfielder that's good on the ball, has better pace than Jorginho, can control a game. That's all I'm. Basically, Jorginho with more speed, that would be great. Right? And they're focusing more on attack than I would like them to, but that's my opinion on that. But of course, Minamino, he left two guys.
Yeah, I
Nana
didn't mention
is
that. Yeah,
leaving left. Who
that
else?
was very out of nowhere. That Minamino one. Um, I did, I did maybe expect it though, with some of the things he come out and said. Regarding basically trying to say I should be playing a lot more essentially, which it's always going to be difficult for him. I actually like the guy, so I'm not really going to criticize him or anything. You know, he was the top scorer for us in the. I don't know if it's everyone else as well in general, but I know he's the top scorer in the FA Cup and the League Cup last season. And he scored some good goals. Even in games where they rotated, like against Southampton, scored a very good goal that game as well. But it's always going to be difficult, when you've got, the other options you've got, like the Jotas, at the time, Mane, Salah, Firmino, who else am I forgetting? Diaz. It's always going to be difficult.
Carvalho also.
Sorry, what was that?
Carvalho, you guys got him
Yeah,
also.
yeah. Just waiting to see him with the shirt up, and then I'll probably do something on that. But yeah, that has obviously been confirmed for a while now. But yeah,
And
that's a good signing. Good youngster. Added to the squad. Watched him when don't really want to say too much, but when Luton lost 7-0, and
yeah,
as much as their whole team was pretty much good, he scored. Can't remember how many he scored in that game, but he definitely scored one, and it's a very nice finish. So yeah,
we need a replacement for Minamino. I think you guys got enough attackers, honestly. If you look, you got Diaz, um, Carvalho, Jota, Nunes. Yes, you got Sara. That's five. I feel like I'm missing someone.
even if it's someone,
Oh, and
or actually do
all like
I do hear what he's saying. I do definitely hear what he's saying. You look at it. Yeah, we've got a lot. Who else really plays on the right bar Salah? But then I'm thinking Harvey Elliott can play right wing. I think Carvalho can as well. So, I wouldn't say that's a main priority, but I wouldn't be annoyed if Liverpool were to go out and do that.
yeah. I don't know why you guys got enough money to like spend. Mine was 30
Yeah, I know.
million, and Minamino, how much did he go for? 10.
I know we got him for more than we actually brought him, which was good. I think including add-ons. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. If anyone knows, I think it was like 15 million or something.
Yeah, 15.5 million pounds.
Yeah, there you
That
go. Yeah.
so it's what 40 million euros. That's what like 30, 36, 35 million pounds
Yeah,
ounce plus
pretty
let's
sure
say
it is. Yeah.
16 plus 16 million pounds. And that's almost that's 50. Now you have spent 70 something on Nunes. Okay, fair enough. Uh, but your owners have surely your owners can pump some money
Yeah,
in.
yeah. No,
Okay.
they can, but I've had my thoughts on the owners. you know, and I'll stick by it, even with what what they've done and that. You know,
Mm.
Liverpool's not their main priority at the end of the day, and that's the problem with the so-called top six. None of them. Yeah, sometimes they boost money in and that, but most of them it's not their main priority. That's what I like sometimes about the teams like Luton, for example, where their owners are actually fans of the club. So everything they do is for the club. Their main priority is for the club. Might not have the biggest funds in the world, but they make sure they do the right things. So that's what I will say. And then the scouting system they got is on job. So
Tyler, get your Scouser accent ready. Get your Scouser.
oh dear. I'll
Uh,
do it. When you next ask me a Liverpool question, I'll do it. Try my best to do it. I mean,
Nick saying Liverpool fans coming out. Who's the little Scouser in the hat? Uh, Ilya saying he's not the Scouser. What is he then? He, he's a proud uh, Luton supporter.
up the top.
That's what he is. He's
I was going to
a
say, guys, you're not tell by the flag,
I'll
the
be back
beautiful
now.
flag in the background. But yeah, there we go. But yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them.
Yeah. Like the, how many likes are we? Let's check. Okay.
Game on Luton. I think you meant to put Cam on Luton.
Come on, Luton. Yeah, I, yeah, Tyler, you are from London, right? Or not?
Pretty much, yeah. Like
So,
45 minutes away.
yeah. Chelsea fan, I will get. I just want to uh, um, quickly go on to Arsenal, then I will answer your question. Special. But Arsenal, of course, Gabriel Jesus has signed for the Gunners. Tyler, do you think this will be a good signing for them?
It's difficult because I do actually, all right, it might not be the level of other strikers in the league, even though he's more of a winger. If Arsenal play him on the wing, yes, it'll be very good signing. But why would they do that? Because then who are they going to really put up front? Because obviously Saka plays on the wing, Martinelli, unless they play like a, like a
Centre forward.
yeah. But then who are they going to put there either? I'm not really too sure. I think he's much better as a winger. I do think it is a good signing for Arsenal, but I think if they had to play him out wide, he'd be a lot better than how
Up
he's
front.
going to be through the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You saw that with Pep. He decided to scrap this thing of playing in and trying to make him a number 9. Put him on the wing, let them interchange. You got him on the wing, Kevin De Bruyne coming in the full Foden, and mostly you see him on the wing.
Yeah.
Um, so it's yeah, it's I I think Nick Blue. It's not Nick Blue. Sorry, I think Arteta will. I think Arteta will put the final nail in the coffin and destroy him. That's my prediction. Yeah.
Like I said, it does link into if he's going to be a lot through the middle. I just don't think it'll be great if he's through the middle, because you've seen it at Man City, and look at the quality of Man City compared to Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel, but then again, it's difficult because if you do put him on the wing, who are you going to put through the middle? What?
Martinelli.
Potentially, but I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult, but we have to wait and see how he
Luckily,
does.
it's not our headache. It's Arteta's headache. Luckily. Um, Ilias asking, why do you support Luton?
Family, mate. Literally, my dad's obviously from Luton. So you mostly support who your parents support, don't you? My nan was from Luton. Most of my family is from Luton, essentially. So yeah, they're either from Luton or they're actually Scouse and we're from Liverpool. So hence why I follow both teams as well. So, but yeah, Luton's my first team. What's going on here?
Great Gary Dickinson played for you.
There you go. There you go.
Then Nick asking, is less a local fan? Of course he is. Now, just so the the price and everything surrounding Jesus is it's a £40 million fee with a 5-year contract. So it's 5 years. Jesus directly is sold on a move by Mikel Arteta and his role as a focal point. This is a statement signing for Arsenal FC um, via Ben Jacobs. So um, that's so it looks like from the reports we're hearing, it's going to be a focal point, and
Yeah.
I think both of us agree it doesn't. We don't think it's going to work out for them if he's a focal point.
Yeah, not as much as it could if he's out on the wing. I still think he'll, get a few goals in that, but I just think if he's on the wing, he'd be getting even more. That's or
Yeah.
creating a lot more. Sorry, not even just scoring, just creating. Yeah, I know. Here come all Liverpool fans. What? How are you saying that?
Now I will get onto so on Leicester. I know many people aren't interested in Leicester, but it affects Chelsea in somewhat and Manchester United that uh, Brendan Rodgers doesn't want to sell Wesley Fofana and Leicester on consider offers under £70 million. He is contracted until 2027, giving Leicester all the control in any transfer talks. Fofana has also been linked with Chelsea and Manchester United. He said it would be a dream to play for either of those clubs in the past. Nothing more than interest at this point and very much focused future windows. It remains unlikely that Fofana is sold. Uh, so that's basically some of the Fofana news. Nick saying he's glad you support Luton Town and not those cheating scouts.
Someone doesn't like Liverpool, do they?
Liverpool. Okay, but that's most of the transfer news. Rafinha. Wait, I quickly just need to grab my phone to give you a Rafinha update.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. It's all right. Rafinha, I'm hearing he could still be going to quite a few places, to be honest. But yeah, I'll obviously let Hanno get into what he wanted to say in a minute. Oh, there we go. He's back again.
Chelsea. Come on, people, get the likes up. Yeah, we are on what, 8 likes. 8 likes. Make it. Let's get to 10. Let's get to 10. But also international, basically outside of the Premier League news, that Dybala is regretting his move away from Juventus, and it is looking like Di Maria might sign for Juventus. Uh, so that's, and then of course we had breaking news that Frankie De Jong, as a deal is looking like it's going to be £96 million. And what I had earlier this day is that the the offer will be 70 million that will be accepted, and then 10 million add-ons, which bring the complete total to 80 million. Do you think it's a good signing for United?
I think it's better than what they've got right now, isn't it? I suppose. You also look at obviously the links with Ten Hag as well. It could be the start of something maybe for United, but then again, I'm not saying like win the league or anything like that. For me, it's going to take with United. I think it's going to take years. When I say years, I mean a good 5 years, maybe. Honestly, I think it's going to take that long, even with Ten Hag in, because you got to think there's a lot more problems actually in and around the club. The owners are not overly great as well. So it could be a little bit of progress, but I don't think it instantly means they'll get top 4 or something like that. But yeah, it could be something positive.
Yeah, I still think they should sign another midfielder. Because Frankie De Jong is not going to play DM. Let's have it right. He's not going to be playing DM. So I have got the poll up. Will Frankie De Jong be a success at United? Guys can vote in the chat on the poll. Will he be a success? Now, in other news, Lisandro Martinez is terms agreed, price agreed with Arsenal, and it's getting closer to Arsenal. And Arsenal are leading the race in front of Manchester United to sign him. To sign Lisandro Martinez, and then what is the other name? Just yeah, that's that. Okay, so this is where I talk about Chelsea. But first, before, let me just get into this. On Rafinha, I haven't received an update. I thought I was going to receive one, but it doesn't look like. But you guys know basically the Rafinha situation. Rafinha will go to Arsenal or Tottenham. Where would he? Where is he going? Hey, Tyler, is he going to Arsenal, Tottenham, or Chelsea?
Depends who wants him the most, who's willing to pay the most, I would say, especially with Leeds now losing Phillips as well. That's two massive players if that's the case. if it was out of all of them, if I had to just have a guess, I don't actually know. It's probably out of Arsenal or Tottenham. I know you might not want to hear that, but I don't know. I just think you look at the business Tottenham have already done. They're in the Champions League as well. Obviously, I know you lot are as well, but the business they've done, and then Arsenal, there's been heavy links there anyway. Obviously, he knows he'll definitely play there as well. So if I had to go with it, I probably would say Arsenal. To be fair,
Yeah, I just think Arsenal. I don't think they're going to get two big big players to the club in Rafinha and Jesus. I think Tottenham will get him. I'm always
yeah,
going to say,
the main thing is who's willing to. This is how I see it. Like I said with Phillips going, who's willing to pay the most. And then see from there because they've already lost a massive player, so
and
that's how I see it.
yeah, it's um reportedly Leeds United wants in the region of 120 million pounds for both players. So if City just would overpay a bit, it would make Rafinha a bit cheaper, but of course they didn't. So yeah, what is the other news I wanted to share? I think that's yeah, that's all the news I have. The Young will do good at Man United. Ted, okay. I would take Frankie de Jong Liverpool, but not for 80 million, only for 40 to 50 million. Thoughts, Tyler?
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. To be honest, it links into what we said earlier with the fact Liverpool need midfielders, but they've come out and said they're not going to, which I already addressed earlier, so I'm not really going to get in too much into it. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Rafinha is going to Arsenal. I'll end the poll soon. So yeah. But on Chelsea now. Now I will start off with the owners. Owners. Okay. So I know Todd Bowley is doing massive things. He he's sorting out the board and everything. Everything is looking fine. But I still think this is a smoke screen. This transfer window, I think, is a smoke screen. I think it's going to be like all the other American owners. That's my prediction. What I have seen from him and what I have heard from the LA Dodgers fans. Okay, he's good in transfer news and he wants the club to look nice. It's like Liverpool. You look at the structure and everything, it's nice. It's like when you buy a new laptop. Oh, in outside it looks very good, but it doesn't work. It doesn't function right. I think that's what Bowley is going to do. That's my prediction. Shan Bowley, I think, is going to be just a normal American owner, like Orest from Orest Oxford was said Friday. Uh, did that show was it Friday? Yeah, I think it was Friday. I think it is going to be that, and because I, I just think it's not going to have what it takes to to create what we need at Chelsea Football Club. That's my point on the owners. My point on Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku, thank you that you are gone. I thank you for some of the goals you scored, the 15 goals. I thank you for those 15 goals you scored in all competitions. And then I hope you don't do good, but I hope you do good, because if you do good, you can get out of my beloved club. Now on that on CR7, I'm going to read a tweet which I agree fully with from Matt, also a Chelsea fan, and it's in Ronaldo to Chelsea is interesting. I would take him short term. He's a dream when it comes to the finishing. One of the best who knows to do that. If we can adjust his wages, I would bring him in. I can fully agree with that. That's on CR7. And uh, then on Dembele, he's going to be at Chelsea, but I still worry that he's not going to be. He's the right profile of player, unlike Sterling, but is he going to deliver? Is he going to deliver for Chelsea? Sterling, please no. I know he is good, but that City, they create average of probably 18 chances a game. Chelsea, we don't create so much chances, so you need to be clinical. That's first and foremost. And he doesn't, he isn't so consistent in scoring goals. But he still is, but he's not that consistent. And then on Timo Werner, Ilias's comment here on Timo Werner about Liverpool are interested in Timo Werner. If Timo Werner goes from Chelsea, if he goes to Liverpool, City, any club other than Chelsea, it will be a success. It will be. If he goes to, I bet you, if Chelsea didn't sign him ahead of Liverpool, we will be talking about the Werner in the Golden Boot race. No, I can bet you that. And Neymar to Chelsea, perfect one, perfect thing. I just it would be the perfect signing. Okay, so I found also a tweet. Who says? Let me just go back to it. It's I find it funny how people think Neymar can't hack it in the Prem when he destroyed every Premier League team he played against, and he is also playing in a more physical league. I don't I don't agree fully with League One is more physical than the Prem, but I just think he can dribble, he can create, he has got speed. He, if we if we can get young Neymar, that would have been great for this team, but we don't. Um, if we can just get the small, yeah, And Neymar, I would take him any day over Sterling, any day of the week. Take him over Sterling. Um, and on Matthias de Ligt. Now, I I asked a few um, of the Juventus fans, and the question I asked them, what does de Ligt bring to a team? Now, one responded and said, and he is a world class defender, and he has got great reading of the game. Let me just see. Is it? No, it should be some. I'm just looking here for it. Oh, wait, it's in the other thing. Um, so just scroll down. Okay. I'll find it, but yeah. Okay. So the one question I asked to this Juve fan is, how would you rate his time at Juventus? He said, that's a bit difficult. Judging by his performance over 3 years, I would give him an 8 to 8.5 out of 10. Overall, excellent, but he has been a bit underwhelming in the crunch games, like Villarreal, Porto, and a second game against Chelsea, and in the Supercopa final against Inter. But then again, he's still very young, and he has every potential to everything to become the best defender in the world. That's why Juve's first priority will be to keep him. And if he does leave for Chelsea, then his defensive credentials will be tested to the limits in the Premier League. So let's wait and see. That's it. So what I took out of that is he still needs to work on delivering in the crunch times, but he has got everything you want from a defender. Let me um, just see. I just need to quickly find um, where is it? Where is okay? But Tyler, what do you think if we get the lead? Do you think it will be a success?
Yeah,
Yes.
to be fair, I actually think he'd be alright. Now I know he went a bit off the radar, for a while now, but like one of the comments says here, he does have that monster mentality, and he obviously was the captain for Ajax as well when they had that really good run in the Champions League. Um, fell short in the end, but I actually think he'd be good. I really do. I think if you to get him, that's a very good signing. You know, potentially could even start to become one of the main leaders, maybe even wear the armband, because a lot of the players getting on a bit. Obviously, the captains now for Chelsea. Some of them might not even be there. Well, some of them we know they're not going to be there. But some of the others that are in options for the line, like Jorginho and that, so yeah, I think if you're to get him, that's a good signing. To be fair.
Yeah. Now the um Now, some of the other guys said, one guy said, he's unique, has everything to end his career as one of the best defenders of his generation, if not of all time. He just needs to play to his potential and not achieve it in the media. But at the moment, he's a bit overhyped from the perspective that he captained Ajax at 17 and they had a great team that raised many eyebrows. He's still young and can dominate the football world for the next 10 years, if not more. He is not the undisputed one, at least not yet. So that's basically everything. Mm, so he has everything. The Juventus fans are saying he has everything. He will be tested in the Prem, but he needs. So that's and another one says the lad has great potential. He's ridiculously fast for his size, but he needs to work on making less errors. But he would probably fit in just fine with the Premier League, where pace and intensity more important. Errors of some sort are expected playing that open style. In Italy, the expectations of defenders is high, with so much emphasis on tactics. He has learned a lot since joining Juve, but he's not the finished article yet. I would love to keep him, but if he's not committed to our shit, better he leaves now for good money than for free in a few years. So you guys can take away what you. I'm just reading you the quotes. It's from this thing. Um, and now I need to scroll far. Uh, okay. Now, someone else also replied saying his world class defender, almost immaculate reading of the game, leadership skills as well, since he was Ajax's captain. So some of the stuff are some of the fans don't agree on the list, of course. It's normal. But basically the overall topic that I have got from that and what I'm going to agree with them because I didn't watch the lit, but he's he's got everything what it needs, what you want in a defender basically. He's an old school type of defender. There and he, if we do things if he can learn very if he can learn from Thiago Silva, he would be a great player. Now my view has changed because Saturday with Matt or Chelsea fan he had a big discussion. I was anti Dillet, but reading those comments, listening to the Juventus fans, I think he may be a success. I think we should sign him. Yeah, that's all I have on the list. And now,
Just
yeah,
quickly, especially with the lack of, obviously the defenders you've got going as it is, to get him in, and hopefully for his sake, get his career back up and running in a way because it links to what I said earlier. He sort of went off the radar. He's
yeah,
still a quality player, but a lot of people weren't really looking at him. And now that you are, rightly so, because obviously you need options there, it would be good for you lot, I reckon.
yeah. Um, Now Elias is saying it's going to be a floppy Serie A. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But I read you what like four stuff from Juventus from 4 Juventus fans, and they saying he is good. He is good. He's going to be a success. Says he just needs to work on creating, cutting off the small mistakes. It's that Nick
And
saying
just
we
quickly,
need.
another thing as well. He's the captain so young. Like we mentioned earlier. That already shows that he's got something about him. To get the armband. When he did it, Ajax. Obviously, I'm not on about when he was 19. Obviously, that's mad. But I'm on about even when they had that Champions League run. That still tells you something. So
Yeah. Um, Nick saying we need Globally, we need the experience at the back when Silva doesn't play. I don't think Globally is that new. So will be 39 soon.
again,
Yeah,
yeah, Koulibaly is another one that's went off the radar quite a bit. Remember, in Liverpool, were always linked with him. Obviously,
yeah.
now it's not really. Well, I don't really watch. The
I
team he
think
plays
it's
for with
just
him.
Napoli. Like they just don't want him to go. Like they have overpriced him so much that he has now spent almost his whole career there, and
Yeah,
that's a big thing. Chelsea fans saying, "I want the Ligt at Chelsea." Nick saying, "We need a leader to play for our young defense." Yes, Luton fan, but he's only 22. Um, yeah, but if he can have this season under Thiago Silva, we can inbreed him in. That would be great. It would have been so great to have Rudiger. Then Rudiger, then the likes of Ian Madsen and the Lid can learn from Rudiger and Thiago Silva. Oh, it's been so great. Oh, dream. Man can only dream. Um, had- um, I think that's all the transfer news. Do you have any more transfer news for us,
no,
Tyler?
not that I can think of. No, seem to mention a lot of them. So yeah, I think that's everything, mate.
Yeah, unless there's let me. I'm just going to check uh, Bridger Romano. Let me just check him. Uh, um, Crystal Palace have signed a Fulham player, Malcolm Iwobi. I think that's how it's pronounced. Um,
Not too sure who that is.
I know, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Mm,
another thing actually. Talk about signings actually. Nottingham Forest signed a former Liverpool player. I think it was at Union Berlin last year. Had a decent record there. That's a good signing as well for Nottingham Forest. Obviously, we know what they're going to try and accomplish next season, trying to stay up. Obviously, so yeah, I think it'd do very well for it. My pronunciation's awful of his name, but let me try and do it. Uh, yeah, club record deal as well. It was
why?
Iwo. I want no, my pronunciation's awful.
I
But
I
yeah, no,
only something like that. But
yeah. That's yeah, yeah. My pronunciations, people, are awful.
if we pronounce it wrong, sorry to that player. Sorry to your family, to everyone that can pronounce that name. We can't. But Uh, Chelsea will sign two centre backs this summer, but will also make final decision on Levi Colwill as multiple clubs are interested in signing English centre back permanent deal. Those clubs are Leicester City, Crystal Palace, Brighton, and Nottingham Forest. Chelsea, please don't let Levi Colwill go. Please, I beg you. I beg you. I will pay you. I don't know how much, but how much must I pay you just to keep him, please? If we lose out on if we suddenly Michael, we in the mud. We're permanently in the mud. Um, but yeah, I will just go through some comments. Let me just. So 5 votes of will De Jong be a success? 80% say De Jong will be a success. 20% says he will not be a success. So, yeah, interesting to see. Ilya says, great to see Rudiger leave. Um, we can't have all youngsters at the back. Mm, Thiago won't play many games. Okay. Yeah. Uh, a Chelsea fan firing back. Great to see Mane leave. Yeah. Ilya saying Kunde is going to Barca. Let's go. Ilyas, who reported it because I'm going to be. I just want to see uh, uh, who reported it. But yeah. So announcements. This will be an official announcement on the channel. I will be taking a break. Um, I will be back on the 5th of June. So Tuesday, I will be back. I'm taking a little break from the channel. I will probably be on other people's channels, so you can find me there. But I will just taking a little break. But the 5th of June, this channel is 3 months old. I will be back, and hopefully we have 100 subscribers by then. We are 4 away, guys. 4 away. Right, so I grab your mom's phone and uh, subscribe. Or grab your dad's phone. I don't care. uh, just just subscribe to the channel. Um, but yeah, Kunde will come to just don't believe this journalist. I want to know who's reporting it because I can't find anything. Why is Reece James trending? Reece James is trending on Twitter. Oh, yes. Um, Jaled, Elias. Okay. No, what it means, but okay. Um,
Basically, apparently his mum's very old.
yeah. Uh, they don't have money. Yes. Oh, yeah. That's just fun. Where's Elias? I want to know where did he get that? Where, where? Where did he get Kunde's going to Barca? I want to, to know before I end up Kunde to Barcelona. Let's see. because what I have heard on Kunde is we need to pay £56 million before July 5th, then we have Kunde. If we do that, we have Kunde. Simple as that. Put that grab a phone, Nick, you visitor, grab a phone and go search or grab a link or anything and then subscribe. Uh, just take a phone, Nick, if she has on, yeah. Elias, on that 700 million, that they they have 700 million, but that was mostly used to protect uh, the to pay off the debt. Most of the debt they still have debt, and that's why they can't register players like Christiansen and Frank Kessie. They have that's why they can't. Um, Nick, thank you, Nick. If you can get me, then I'm one away. That is one away. And yeah, also one last thing, whoever is that 100 sub, you can message me, DM me anyway, email me. You can. I'll get you on. Hey. Tyler, shout out your socials. I will full screen you, then everyone can see your beautiful face.
Well, just quickly, I've hopefully got you another subscriber. Do you know what I mean? I've got my dad to subscribe to the channel, so hopefully he does that. I just sent him the link to it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, obviously my socials, Hanno has kindly put them in the description, every single one as well. So can't speak. Fair play to him. And obviously, if you want to follow me, subscribe to my channel. Obviously, that is in the title as well as the link. So if you just click on it through the title, bosh, it'll take you straight to it. So yeah, and I've got another channel as well, T Boys TV Extra. Link to that is also in the description, I believe. So yeah, if you could subscribe to that as well, that would be much appreciated. And thank you again, Hanno, mate, for bringing me onto the channel. I've enjoyed it. And big up everyone in the chat as well.
Thanks for jumping on.
That's all right, mate.
Yeah, all his socials is in the chat. I got his link to his channel if you don't want to use the one in the title. One is already in the description, and everyone in the description. And if you are looking, of course, for a graphic designer, go the one who designed the intro and the new logo, of course. His Twitter is in the description as well. Go give him a follow, and yeah. So yeah, I will cue the intro or the outro, whatever. And yeah, that was a good stream. Yeah, see you next time, guys. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share the channel. Peace out.